lush green fields of the Philippines, rolling through tropical village scenes. New friends made along the way, sharing stories at the break of day.
Hello and welcome to Arizona Trails, Philippine Tales. My name is Steve and welcome to week number 84 of the Philippine House Build as we count down to week number 104. So place your bets to see if they'll be done before or after 104. But before we get into that, again, it doesn't matter what country you are in the world, just as long as you go to a place that treats both you and your money well, and just remember that you are a foreigner. So here is Tinfoil Hat to retirement.
Grab your tinfoil hat and buckle up tight. It's the slideshow they don't want you to see tonight. We gave up culture to invaders, they hate say. Tinfoil Hat says it was planned that way. Your government steals half your dough while they dance in America like it's a free show. Liberal meltdowns flood the screen. Joe says we're all Palestine. Man, what does that mean? Macron's wife's got a Vogue disguise. Tinfoil Hat says it's all deep state ties. Guns don't kill, but minds sure bend. News comes up on head, ask your tinfoil friend. I'd rather be American than a Democrat. Crypto, ETFs, tinfoil says it's a trap. Don't sell crypto, hold the line. Now getting stocks in his spare time. Do the opposite of Kramer's call. Clean up Chicago with a tinfoil wall. Drop while the ratings tank. Kid Rock dance while Kamala drinks. Babies and bioweapons wanna mix. Pocahontas rampages with tinfoil tricks. Cortez bites Aunt Donnie on a date. Hillary fights weak, tinfoil says it's fate. Trump goes boom, Elon's got the fuse. Big balls, big plans, tinfoil approved news. NGOs get grants from you and me. Stuffing ballots like it's Thanksgiving Eve. Obama's got cash, Zelensky's got gear. Kamala's still partying, tinfoil's in fear. Meet some T-bill shouting. Students jobless, who's to blame? House sells flood, buyers ghost. Europe's crashing, China's toast. Can't defend yourself in Canada, bro. Make 6 figures, Dollar Tree's your show. Hold that job or wait 10 years. The job market's fake and full of shrums your fears. Housing's frozen, college is close. Bonds are trash, but buy more, who knows? Jobs reports late, truths on delay. While Congress trades stocks every work day. So tip your hat, adjust the foil. This slideshow's cooked in conspiracy oil. And if they say it's fake, just smile and nod. Just some slides and some tinfoil sod.
Alright, that was Tinfoil Hat to retirement. Now, for this week of the video, again, looking on the outside, definitely planning on trying to get this done before 104 weeks. But again, we'll see. Place your bets. Alright, so coming down the steps like I always do, look what we have in front of us. We've got the makings of a gate. We've got the makings of a wall. So that's good to see early in the morning. So basically right now they're building up this wall over here. So we're becoming more and more enclosed. So definitely this wall is going to go up. We're not going to have it go very high. I think we're going as high as this bar right here. So that way we can at least see over the wall. I think Flora wanted it to be at least 5 feet. And then of course, so it might be actually, maybe the wall might actually go up to this height. Now the reason why the gates are closed right now, you can't really open these gates just because it's they're letting the welds set, so you don't want to break the welds. And then looking over towards the house, I don't know if you can see with the glare of the sun, so let's see if I can come back this way or not. But if you look up again, we had the gray and the white here, and we're continuing with the gray right now over that way. Then it will be white, and then a little bit of gray there, and then white, and then gray for the columns. So again, anything that sticks out. So looking at that window above there, that is the canopy over the window, so that should be painted gray. later on. You can see a lot of the dust that's on the steps here just for the reason that they're sanding everything, and they're going to be doing their final painting of the home. So we are actually doing pretty good. So again, the gate, we even have a pedestrian gate. So this is the pedestrian gate over here, and this is sort of the gate that's going to be used. This is going to be concreted in right here, and I will go outside just to take a look at what they're completing here. So opening up the pedestrian gate. Now you can see this water in here. This always happens when somebody's water line is broken. So we do have our concrete blocks, and then we got the dirt in here. So they got the concrete blocks and walls. They filled in the dirt going down, so they are developing the wall here. So we got our concrete blocks. They're excavating. So our yard, so as you can see from the concrete blocks to the road, this is still our property. And I think Flora is going to probably plant some flowers along the walls out here for the street. So that's what this is here. And then, so our wall is definitely going to be up this way. And again, probably come up to maybe, I think maybe right here, or maybe a little bit higher. I see they got a mark right here. So there's a possibility that the wall might actually go this high, where the mark is on this pillar. So we'll see if that's how high they do go with the wall. They're also still excavating this area right here just to try and get the land more level. And of course this is going all the way down. Here you got a better shot of the gray on the top. So again, it's going to be gray, and then just the edge of the canopy here for the is going to be gray there, and then of course they'll continue the gray all the way down and around. So we're definitely trying to hit a gray white all the way around, and again the ground goes back that way. All right, we'll walk back around this way again. See, down here somewhere is where the water level, the water lines break, and then it causes a trail. And nobody really keeps track of the water lines. When they break, they don't fix anything. They just wait and hopefully they can fix it, because see, this is an example of the water line, and when that water line breaks, then it leaves water everywhere. All right. So that's where the water line comes in, right there, from across the street right there. So across the street, comes in, goes up, but eventually they'll bury this, and hopefully it doesn't develop any holes, but if it does, I'll dig up the line and try and replace any rubber pieces that need to be fixed. All right, going in through the pedestrian gate. I'm gonna need to get used to that, having a gate. And then of course we'll end up parking up there, and then we'll have a gate that opens up there. So then we'll walk around. Also, the person who's welding the gates is also going to be making the stairs that go up towards the roof deck. So some of his, so the metal that's he's going to be using for the stairs is going to be this metal right in here. And I think they've already got some markers set up, so these metal posts right here will be the markers for the staircase that goes from this area right here, and then it should go straight up to that area to the roof deck there. So, and then they'll of course continue this pattern of the bricks up the column this way, and then gray up there. So this will actually meet gray, just like the white meets that right there. And then that will be white, and then that will be gray. All right, they've also, on these drainage systems, I think they finally squared off everything. So this looks like it's going to be the final product of the drainage, but hopefully they also make some lids that will go on top of the drainage. So I think that would be the case. So again, house drainage going in here, going into these drains, and then down and out from the wall. Nothing has been done on the lanai. We're waiting for the person that has put on the roof, because we do see some leaks. So just to have them take a look at that. We've also developed, we've noticed a couple leaks in the house. So we found one roof leak in the powder room that's next to the living room. And then we also found a small leak in one of the guest bedrooms where the water is coming in by the exhaust fan. So the exhaust fan in one of the guest bedrooms, and near the wall in a corner, we saw water dripping down. So those are a couple of issues to address with the person that also did the roof up there. But the painter, he did really good on the wood. That reminds me, on this gate that's over here. So we were debating whether or not we were going to go gray and white with the gate, but since we have some wood motifs as well, like just plain wood, so of course all of our doors are wood. And then down on the patio, let me walk back over here to the patio, the wood pieces are still wrapped. I don't know why, maybe he's just protecting the wood. So down there on the end of the patio, those three beams on the end, that's wood, just like the wood doors are and the wood trim. So we got wood, so down there in the end is wood. We got some wood doors. We're thinking that we might want to make the gate wood looking. So it's either going to be painted wood, like wood, or it's going to be gray and white. So we'll see if we continue. It's just like a gray and white motif with splashes of wood throughout the house. So that's why we're getting this set up, just to see what can be done. So here would be another wood motif. And then of course we got our tiling and ground. And that's another thing. I mean, once we get all the dirt and everything in here, we got to plant grass, not just have weeds. So I've been thinking about, you can't really have a lawnmower out here just due to the ground, but I think a weed whacker will probably do just fine. So I'll probably end up weed whacking all this and just try and keep the grass short, or wherever it decides to grow up. It's going to be a while if we keep piling dirt. So since they've been working on the gate, they haven't really been doing the drainage yet. So we still need pipe there, going out the hole there. Definitely looks like we got ground up there. And I don't know if that's considered level yet or not. Maybe that's how high they're going to go, which does make sense. So it should put it just about the halfway of that first step. And then again, we need final paint. So it's coming together. It's just, again, the wall, I was surprised. I mean, if you compare last week's video of where we were in the wall and the gate compared to this week, that's good. They're moving faster, doing what needs to be done to try and get that taken care of. So we'll continue to walk back here. Well, I tell you, like I said, that when the grass starts to grow, it grows fast. And this will probably need a weed whacker, or the dirt that they bring in to raise the ground level will cover this grass. But I would imagine in the future, this is the grass that will probably come up unless we plant. The kind of grass I've seen that I like is called Bermuda grass. So maybe we'll try some Bermuda grass. And or another thing, how they actually cut the grass out here is also with a machete. So you just grab the machete and you start chopping down the grass. I've seen people do that as well. Or if you have a caribou, they can come out and eat the grass. But this land is definitely small for a caribou. Back here, one thing that I have not done yet, and I need to do it because I thought I could just go into a store and buy it. But again, I need algae tablets for this tank. So that way algae doesn't develop on the inside. This water is, again, toilet, shower, and just not drinking water. But I still don't want to shower in algae water, and I don't want the algae to go to the toilet water or the sink water. Don't want to wash dishes in algae water. So far no algae is not coming in, but I definitely do need to think about, because it usually takes about 6 months for the algae to start developing in the tanks. And then hopefully I'll learn how to drain this tank and then how to clean the inside, because even though you're using algae tablets, you still have to clean the inside of the tank. So lots of leveling still to do, lots of other items. So back here, again, you see the plumbing. And I think, see, they got caps on all the stuff that is completed. So that's good that they're starting to cap stuff off. I think I mentioned that in last week's video. They still need to drain. Eventually, they're going to tear this down. So this was one of the first items that was actually put on the property before they started building. This is the outhouse for the workers. So and I think they even shower as well. So they'll have a showering system, they'll have a bathroom, and once that's taken down, then we'll have some more land here to actually work with. And boy, that sun is nice and bright early in the morning. I'll just look around this way here. So a lot of things, again, being capped off. So as long as they do all the plumbing work, get the ground levels done, start capping stuff off, or burying things, like here's the water line that's buried, and this is the main water line going out to the street that I had shown. So now it's just a matter of burying or putting a cap on these. So yep, just slowly putting the caps on. Again, this is the blue air conditioning line that comes down, and it goes into the piping system down here. Again, they've worked on these drainage squares, so I think this is now a complete square, and we just need some lids to be put on these. So water goes in, comes from the house, goes out through any piping, and then out towards the street. So it looks like everything is getting completed. They're starting to put some more scaffolding up because, of course, they're going to need to start painting. This is funny because they did do a skim coat before. So see how the skim coat has came off, and then you got a concrete wall right there. So that's why once you do the skim coat, you got to make sure that you start sealing everything up and painting. Otherwise this starts chipping. So I would imagine in the future I'm going to have to repaint the house. Hopefully it's like 10 years or something. I don't want to paint every year. but definitely things to think about as you're building and the upkeep of a home. All right, so they got the scaffolding up this way. So definitely the wall is being done, but I don't know how much of the wall they're going to complete. I hope that you were able to watch the 1 year as a foreigner in the Philippines, where I talked about, how long this build has taken. So that is something we'll definitely find out here as time progresses. Again, once this wall is finished, I don't know how much longer they're going to keep this workman shed up. You can see how much they need to chop as far as ground. So once they get rid of the building, they're going to have to chop the ground and make it ground level. And then that way we've got from ground to steps. So we're just continuing. And then hopefully our plans is to have a nice little bench out here to see what's past this building. But let's go up here and stand where the gate level is and see if sitting in a bench might be. I've got to wash my head because of the scaffolding. Again, they're sanding everything and putting the final paints on. All right. So again, the steps are really dusty. Flora's plants are really dusty. So a lot of sanding that's going on here, where you can see all the powder from the paint. I mean, you can even see my boots has more paint on it than anything. Even I have to clean the motorcycle. Look at the seat, how dirty everything is here. So I'm gonna have to clean this. I should have put a cover on it. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna clean the bike and put a cover on it just for any future stuff that's going on. But again, here is the gate, our fortress of solitude, or at least keeps us in until we decide to go out. All right. So definitely still have a lot of products out here. At least the solar equipment is all taped up and protected. But still a lot to do. Still, I haven't even got around to fixing the moped yet. So I'm riding around with a broken turn signal, skid on the Honda, skid back here. So I got a lot of work that still needs to be done afterwards. And then we'll park our vehicle here in the garage, gates come in, and then we can go out. And the driveway is going to again go from the end of the garage all the way down to the road, because all the way to the road is our land. So we can still put flowers on it or concrete it or do whatever we want with that. So I think that's it for this video of week number 84 of the Philippine house build. Thank you for joining Arizona Trails to Philippine Tales. You have a great day. Bye-bye.